I think we are live. Facebook family, this is Jo Hawkins with Influencer Magazine, and today we are bringing you an absolute treat, like we didn't yesterday, right? But today we have Jason Gabriel, and we are going to find out all about this amazing man. So Jason is not only won a massive awards in the radio industry, but he has also, he was born in poverty, and he's going to tell us that story just now. He has
Absolutely.
won multiple awards in the radio, and let me just list a few of them. Top 5 in South Africa Community Radio Award, Best Presenter in Bay FM, and Best Radio Presenter in PE. Jason is an entrepreneur. He organizes massive events and the chocolate run. I know Jason's got horse racing event coming up with fashion and all sorts of amazing things. He's a motivational speaker, an MC, an author. We nearly forgot that part. His book is called He Changes Everything. Jason has got the Jason Gabriel Gospel Award. Sorry, Jason, I'm not going to drop that. And he has had multiple sold out events with celebrities. So Jason has got so much to tell us and inspire us with. I listen to you frequently, Jason, on the radio. I know you live stream on Facebook, and that's the easiest way for me here in Dubai or the Middle East. And I just so love your show because you are totally, you just have this presence. So thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me, Jo Hawkins, and a very good day to you as well as to all the listeners and viewers from South Africa and across the world as well. Certainly glad to be here today, and thank you so much for always streaming with me via Facebook on my live radio show in the mornings. I think it's absolutely fabulous that technology actually connects people from across the world. And as you have witnessed, we have people from across the USA, Abu Dhabi as well, New Zealand, Australia, that really cruises the airwaves with us. So thank you so much for joining me every single morning.
It's an absolute pleasure. I love it, Jason. I wouldn't miss it. When I do miss it, I really feel like my day hasn't done what it needs to do. For those who haven't...
No, absolutely. A lot of people...
For those who haven't...
Yes, a lot of people have said that... sorry, Jo. A lot of people have said that, they cannot start the day without the show, and if they do start their day without the show, then it's absolutely the day is not started. And I think it's very important. It's very important that as I begin my show every single morning, I always motivate our listeners, never to give up on their dreams and always to strive for their greatness, because they have what it takes. Each and every one of us have the tools within us to overcome any storm that we are facing. So yes, it's a fantastic way to start off your day absolutely motivated.
And not only that, Jason, it's not only the fantastic motivation, which is in every moment. You rock amazing music and you jive at the same time doing exercises and stretches for us COVID people who so indoors, we're all getting a little bit plumper than we should. So I love it.
Well, I think it's very important to always engage with your audience, and you need to really appreciate your audience. And the best way to engage and appreciate them is by, leading the way on some sort of fun. Because of COVID-19, everybody is locked indoors, and they're really looking for greater ways to maintain positive and, of course, stay healthy as well. So I decided that it's going to be live streaming. Let's go live. Let's do some exercise in the morning. Let's dance, while the music is playing. And it just gets everyone in a fantastic mood. So definitely on the right track, definitely uplifting individuals and making their mornings.
And I have to tell you, I watch a number of local radio stations, and we won't mention their names just to be polite. But I have never seen anyone handle it like you do, because you've got your phone on the side and you've got your whole DJ thing in front of you, and you just rock it and you engage with your viewers, and it's just marvelous.
It's multitasking, and a lot of people have, or a lot of my viewers have actually did mention to me that they've never seen anything like it, where I engage with the live audience. I also engage with my listeners on radio, and I produce their own show as well. I produce their own music on the show, so every single thing I produce with engaging with the entire audience on air and off air as well. So it's absolutely fabulous. Look, I love it. Many people love the show because they really reckon it's very energetic, it's vibey, and it's all because of the viewers. You guys make it happen. You guys really, really, the way you guys enjoy it, it actually puts me in a good mood, and I really run off your energy. So it's absolutely amazing. To be a radio presenter, I tell you what, it's one of my passions. It's a gift that I have, and I absolutely love it.
You do, you definitely do. Jason, tell us about your early days so that we can get a whole view of this man who's such an inspirational entrepreneur.
All right. Well, look, I was born in Durban, South Africa, and unfortunately, back in those years, we were born in the heart of poverty. Mum was unemployed. I have 5 siblings, including myself, is 6, and my dad. And most of the time, my late dad, he used to always go out into different cities and try to make a living to support us. And he worked extremely hard to really support his family. And then he decided one day to journey to Port Elizabeth and try to create something that could really uplift our lifestyle. We were faced with lots of harsh realities in South Africa back many years ago. And you know what? My dad has done a fantastic job by trying to beat the barriers that actually held us back in life. And he really overstepped the boundary just for his family. And when he moved to Port Elizabeth, he eventually decided that he was going to bring his family up to Port Elizabeth as well. It's about 1,200 kilometers away. So it's actually quite a long drive. But the one problem, Joe, is that there were 7 of us back in Durban. We could not make it to Port Elizabeth because my dad had no funds. So what happened was his friend had a small fish truck. So they decided to put all 7 of us in a small compartment in a fish truck, and we made our journey.
Jason, tell me, was there fish in the truck as well?
Look, I think the only fish that was in this truck was basically me, because I'm not too sure whether there was any fish in the cold storage, but where we were in a very tiny apartment at the back of the fish truck, we basically fit in 7 of us. We squeezed in that fish truck, and we made our journey to Port Elizabeth. Look, at that time, Joe, I was a youngster, and to me it was an adventure. I absolutely loved it.
But
I can imagine as
anything into an adventure, Jason, because that's your mindset.
Absolutely. So the world will probably have seen it as something like a very sad time. To me, it was absolutely fabulous. I was in a fish truck. We are making a journey 1,200 kilometers away, and I was absolutely loving it, as a child. And Joe, it reminds me, as a child, we can believe anything. We are so creative as children as well. I mean, I can tell my dad as a child, or a child can come to you and says, Mom, can you please buy me an aeroplane? That child actually believes that you can buy the aeroplane. So the faith in a child is absolutely incredible. And at that time, and still is, my faith was absolutely fantastic. My mindset was very creative as well, and I loved it. My mum, of course, and my brothers and my siblings, they felt the harsh realities of that journey because they were much more mature, and they knew exactly what was taking place. But for me, I'm on the fish truck. We're moving to a new city, Port Elizabeth, and it was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I loved the journey. I loved the whole entire trip. And yes, basically, Joe, that fish truck made me the person I am today. And it's absolutely incredible. If it was not for that fish truck, I would not be an award-winning radio presenter. I would not be an entrepreneur. I would not be a motivational speaker. I would not be an MC. I think that God placed me into this fish truck because he knew that I needed to fulfill my purpose in a different city. And sometimes whenever we want to move on to the next level of our lives, we always want to move on in a very smooth manner. However, God always has different plans for us. And he needed me to be in Port Elizabeth, and he couldn't get me in the aeroplane, so he put me in a fish truck to fulfill my purpose.
Yes.
So yes, that was absolutely incredible. The journey from from Durban to Port Elizabeth. And as you're aware, I did write a book last year. It was published, it was launched, it was absolutely amazing. I've given motivational talks to thousands of people, and everybody has always wanted me to write a book, but I believe it was not the right time. Eventually, I put everything down on a book, and I launched it in December last year. It was an absolutely fantastic launch, well supported. The book is actually sold out, and we are waiting for the COVID-19 restrictions to calm it down so we can go and reprint, and put it on the stores and so forth. So yes, the book is titled "He Changes Everything." It's because I believe that God has the ability and power to change everything in your life. At the blink of an eye, you can be in the heart of poverty, and thereafter you can be standing on the highest mountain declaring victory over your lives. And I believe that God has full control over your life. And the slogan with my book, that is titled "He Changes Everything," it's the boy in the fish truck. And many people ask, who is this boy in the fish truck? And that is actually my biggest blessing. The fish truck that drove me into purpose and drove me into hosting sold out shows with celebrities, drove me into being a fantastic radio presenter as well, which I absolutely love. So yes, that has been my journey.
What an amazing story. I absolutely love it, Jason. And I can see you have truly been born for this.
Look, you know what, Joe? There's one thing about one of the presenters told me the other day to say, you know what, Jason, you don't have a mindset like everybody else. So I said, what do you mean by that? And she mentioned that you've got a very positive mindset, that nothing really moves you. And let me tell you something, that in life we will go through ups and downs. We will fall many a times. We will shed many tears. But that actually just defines who you are. It makes you stronger. I always believe that problems always propel you into a new level in your life. You've got to just focus on the positivity in every storm instead of the negativity. And this is where people go wrong in life, that whenever they do face problems, they're always focusing on the negatives, which emotionally takes them on the roller coaster with emotions. And that is why many people wander this world, like the wind. You can hear the wind coming, but you have no idea where it's going. So in life, many people wander this world without any purpose because of disappointments in their lives. But I'm here to remind people that disappointments is there to propel you into a new level, into a new journey, into a new blessing. Do not fail, do not fall, do not crumble when things are going wrong in your life, because we have all the tools, we have what it takes to overcome every challenge. And that's my mindset. My mindset is I can never ever be defeated, no matter how hard you hit, no matter how low I fall. I can never ever be defeated, because I am destined for greatness, and nobody else is going to take that away from me. And this is for the listeners and viewers as well, whoever is watching right now. I'm here to remind you that you are destined for greatness. You have what it takes. You have the ability to rise up after every fall. And when people tend to fall many a times, they give up, and that's the problem that we have. Give up. And my slogan is, giving up is never an option, because the first thing that comes to mind when things are not going right in your life is giving up. And that is why whenever you feel that way, you've got to remind yourself why you started. You've got to remind yourself who you are. And you've got to remind yourself that you're on a journey to fulfill your purpose and achieve a great dream. So keep pushing forward. That's my mindset. That is my mindset. Very positive. And knowing that I can never ever fail. Look, the world will always judge you. People will always judge you. People will always want you to fall. People will always want you to stumble and not achieve your dreams. But your life is, or your journey is not based on people's opinions. If it does not add value in your life, you should never allow it to enter your mind or enter your journey as well, because you should remind yourself that you are destined for greatness. So you are on your journey for greatness. And if anyone has any negative opinions over your life, then they need to politely step out of my circle while I keep the journey going. And whoever wants to add value in my life, by all means, I will embrace you, and we work together. We work well together, and we build ourselves together. This is what life is all about. This is what humanity is all about. I think humanity got it wrong. Everybody is trying to get ahead of the next person. We all have life. We all want to succeed. But imagine how much more we can do if we work together. And we can surely succeed in a very greater and much better way. If you are competing with others, then you are harboring toxic seeds within yourself. Seeds of jealousy, seeds of anger, seeds of depression. those seeds that you actually spew out to discredit somebody else has the ability and power to discredit you at the same time. It can even, those toxic seeds that you store within your heart has the ability and power to crush your dreams, because its toxic seeds are not there to uplift anyone or add value to anyone's life. It's there to destroy. So if you are the storehouse for toxic seeds and toxic energy, then by all means there's a high probability that your life will turn toxic as well.
Absolutely. And Jason, we've got some of our wonderful commenters on Facebook, our family there. They are saying, where can they find your book?
All right, at this point, book sold out. However, I am putting it on an ebook. I've had a lot of people from across the world that has been requesting for the book. So I'm in the process of transforming it into an ebook format. And once it's done, trust me, I think the whole entire world will get to know about it, because I truly believe that the book is anointed. I truly believe it is blessed. Joe, I want to tell you a small story about this book. When after we wrote the book, I had to send it to an editor. And
Yes.
I was recommended, many editors or many friends recommended editors to me. But however, I went on the internet and I came across a small Fox, I think it's Fox Editing that is. And for some reason, I don't know why I was drawn to this company. I don't know the owner. I don't know anyone that works there, but yet I was fully drawn to this company. So I contacted the owner. And the owner and I, we discussed, that to say that I'm launching my first book, and I would like for her to actually edit my book. So I sent her the script of my book, but for some reason, again, I'm going to stress this out, that from the time I started writing this book, I always prayed every single day. Up till today, I pray for my book that whoever so reads this book will really build their faith, not in me, but in God, because God plays a huge role in everyone's life. And I'm not here to be very religious, but I'm here to tell you that you need a spiritual part of your life to keep you in control. You need that spiritual part to secure your foundations, because people in this world will always want to crack your foundations for you to crumble. So when I connected with this woman, her name was Samantha, and I connected with her, I gave her the book. I had no idea that she was going through a very traumatic time in her life. I had no idea she was going through a bad patch where she was questioning herself. She was questioning the people around her. She was questioning her circumstances. I had no idea. So when she read my book, she sent me a message and she said, Jason, your book had to come to me. And I said, why? She said, because when I started reading your book, it gave me so much of empowerment. It opened up a way of thinking. It made me feel better. And most of all, it made me realize that I need God in my life now, more than ever. I need God in my life. And she said that the book has uplifted her. This was so special to me, because my prayer for this book in the beginning was whoever so reads this book should be uplifted and empowered. And when she told me those words, that she feels uplifted and empowered by reading the pages of this book, then immediately I knew that my purpose was fulfilled in this book, that whoever so reads it feels empowered. I had the book launch at the evening at Nissan Eastern Cape in South Africa. They were one of my, Nissan Eastern Cape here in Port Elizabeth, they're one of my sponsors, and we had the launch at their new venue. It was a sold out launch, sold out show, and it was absolutely incredible that when we finished off in the evening, Joe, people went home and started reading the book around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. They could not put it down. At 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting a message to say, we cannot put your book down. It's just fantastic.
Oh.
And I basically use my life experience, all the challenges that I've been through. I use all of those experiences. I put it down in writing, and it's some sort of upliftment for you to make you understand and acknowledge that all things will certainly work in your favor.
Absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait to read your book.
Yes, you know what? It's certainly a blessing. I would say that myself. I really, really love reading. I love reading the book. I wrote it. We sat down together, and I started reading the book again. And I thought to myself, "Wow, this book actually sounds fabulous." So yes. And it also tells me that even as a child, there was an individual, a man that could not speak, a deaf and dumb guy, and he used to always carve out crosses of wood in wood. And whenever he walked past the house, he would always hand my brother and myself a cross. And how powerful that was, that as a child, he kept on giving me a cross. And today, I preach the message of Jesus Christ, to thousands of people. So that cross was very prophetic over my life from a child, that God's hands and eyes was upon me. And I really stress out the fact that his hand is upon every single human being in this world. Whether you're on your highest mountain, whether you're standing or in the deepest valley, or whether you're lost in this world, God loves you. He appreciates you. He has placed a purpose upon your life. He knows that you can do it. Your purpose is so special that only you can fulfill it. And if people are asking themselves, I wonder if I fulfilled my purpose, let me tell you something. As long as you have breath in your body, you still need to fulfill your purpose. You still need to fulfill it. So that is a seed of hope in anyone's lives. If your life is not going according to plan right now, I'm here to encourage you that the purpose is still within you, and it still needs to ignite for you to create a positive impact in this world. Joe, there's one thing I believe, that many people can ride a car. I can walk out and go to the shop. You can walk out and go to the shop. But there's something within you that you need to fulfill that nobody else can do. There's something inside of you that nobody else can do. You are born to do it. So you need to fulfill your purpose. You need to fulfill it, and you need to keep that journey going.
I love it, Jason. You are just absolutely phenomenal. And, just looking at this whole story, it had to be a fish truck, right?
Well, look, well, most definitely, because if you look at the disciples when when they were chosen, when Jesus was walking by, they were fishing. So fish has some sort of significance in biblical terms.
A fish truck.
And when God put me in the fish truck, so, Joe, when God put me in the fish truck, Joe, it was like, some people would have said something fishy about this trip, but there was great purpose about that trip. This is how God works. Our wisdom compared to God's wisdom is absolutely two different wisdoms altogether. And as much as you will always plan your life, everybody plans their lives. I never ever dreamt of becoming a radio presenter. It was never ever in my plans. I never planned on becoming a motivational speaker. I never planned on becoming an author. I never planned on becoming an entrepreneur. I was an ordinary person trying to live my life in this world according to my own vision, according to my own wisdom, and according to the way I saw life. But when things went wrong in my life, instead of giving up, I went on my knees and I started praying, and I asked God for direction. I asked God for guidance, and I asked God, and I told God, I said, Lord, I don't know what plans you have for me. I am trying my utmost according to my wisdom. But today, I give my entire life in your hands. Whatever I need to go through in this world, I will go through. Whether it's good, whether it's bad. Whatever it is, I know that you have ordained it and you are in full control of my journey. And I promise you one thing, God took me in a totally different journey altogether. And this is how I've become who I am today. All because I gave my heart to God, I gave my life to God, and I said, please help me. And how it started, Joe, can I just tell you how this journey started? Let me tell you how my events started. I'm not an events organizer. I've never, back then, before I organized events, I never even thought about organizing events. And one day, there was a friend that I basically knew within our area. And unfortunately, she got in a huge argument with a friend of hers.
Yes.
And that argument led to a very devastating incident where he basically actually knocked her. And when he knocked her, she was declared brain dead. And what happened was, one day while I was praying, her image of her face continuously came into my mind, and I could not understand why. And every time I prayed and the image of her face came into my mind, I opened up my eyes and I literally said out loud, Lord, what do you want me to do? How do I help this girl? And for some odd reason, I felt that I needed to do a fundraiser for her, for the hospital bills and so forth, because they were not wealthy people. And these were the words I spoke to God. And I said, Lord, if you want me to host a fundraising for this girl, please, may no door close on me. Remember, I've never hosted an event before. And during that entire process, of basically putting an event together, I was confronted with a lot of negativity. Many people told me it will never work out. Many people told me that no one will support the event. Many people told me that you're wasting your time. So there was negativity that was sown in continuously in my life before I could even start on hosting this event. And this is one thing that we all should learn in life, that whenever you want to embark on a vision that you have, that God has dropped within your mind and soul, there will always be people that will encourage you not to continue the journey because they see or they do not have the vision to see what you see. So they will always tell you things will not work out. Even though you fall many a times, they will tell you, no, it's not working out, try something else. But remember, if you have the passion and fire within you, it simply means that it can manifest to be something great. So I pushed forward with this event. I went to certain retail stores to ask them to sponsor banners for me. Joe, I got turned down by every store I knocked at, turned down with regards to, we cannot sponsor you. But that never ever stopped me. It so happened, I had no idea I was a son writer, because what happened was, I asked those stores for older banners, and they gave me 6-meter long old banners. I went inside my home, I took paint cans, almost empty paint cans, painted over those banners, and I literally wrote the name of the show that I was having, and I went all over and I put those banners up. What I'm trying to say, Joey, is that when people said no to me, it did not mean I needed to stop. It did not mean I needed to change my plan. It did not mean I needed to do something else. It simply meant push harder. The solutions are there. To every problem that you have, there's 40 solutions to it. So you just have to choose one solution. You've got 40 at your hand. So I pushed harder and I pushed harder. And when I wrote all of these, the name of the show on these banners, and I put it up everywhere, then people were phoning me and telling me, that one letter was a bit skew on the banner that I wrote wrong. The good thing was that people were actually looking at the banner, so I was quite happy about it. Joe, that show was a sold out show. It was a sold out show, Joe. I pushed hard, I worked hard, and I made sure I sold out the show. But every step that I took, I always pray to God and I ask God to direct me and to lead me. And I truly believe that God plays a huge role in your life. And I have acknowledged that, I've accepted that, and whatever I do today, before I can even take the first step, I always pray to God, I commit it to His hands, and I ask God to lead the way for me, and He definitely leads the way. So my events started off, the first event started off helping a person in need in a small community hall in our area. And after that first event I had in that small community hall, I attracted Sun International they have become one of my major sponsors.
Oh.
And they contacted me to have a meeting with me. And when I went over to their offices and they asked me, how did you do it? So I said, how did I do what? How did you pack out that hall? I said, I think it was the banners that I painted, And of course, it was definitely God that was steering me in the right direction. And from that day, Sun International said, all right, you can host events at our venue and we'll become one of your major sponsors. Look, they gave me a fantastic deal. They became one of my major sponsors. I've hosted events at their venue, and every single event that I've hosted with celebrities, can you believe it, celebrities? A boy from a fish truck now hosting celebrities. And you might ask, but Jason, how did he get in contact with the celebrity? Quite simple. I picked up the phone and I called. I spoke to the manager. I said, listen, I want to have a show and this is what I want to put together. Can it happen? You see, also another learning curve in that is that many a times we always ask people for advice. They always sometimes give us what they think. Rather go straight to the source. Find out yourself. You don't have to phone anyone else. You don't have to ask anyone else for any advice. If you want to, have a business, and if you want to succeed in life, do things on your own. That's when things will succeed because you have the vision. Mm-hmm. And from there, sold out events, with celebrities in South Africa. It has been absolutely fantastic thus far. And from that event, that's when one of the operations manager for a radio station was actually attended one of the events. And that's how I became a radio presenter. She approached me at the event and said, "You're going to make a good radio presenter." Now, we all know in radio, the breakfast show is one of the biggest shows. And Joe, I tell you what, I started off doing the weekend breakfast show, and it became the biggest show at the radio station. And from there, I continuously did the breakfast shows. And right now, I'm on Bay FM. I do the weekday breakfast show, which is absolutely incredible. The journey has been a challenging one. I have fallen many times, many times. But it simply meant that I need to try harder, I need to push harder, and I need to believe harder. I tell people, before you can embark on any vision in your life, you've got to believe in who you are. You've got to set your foundations. You've got to set your pillars around you. And the pillars is peace. One of the pillars, your foundations is God. Because nobody can rock God's world. Nobody can rock his life. Nobody will be able to rock his foundations. His foundations is solid. And when you have a balanced life, that's when perseverance becomes one of the seeds in your life. Determination becomes another seed. Belief becomes another seed. You striving for greatness becomes another seed. Those seeds becomes pillars in your life. Those pillars becomes your shield in life. And that shield will take you to your mountaintops.
I love it, Jay.
So yes,
awesome.
It's been an absolutely fantastic journey. And that is why I love motivating people as well. And, again, I was a very shy person in school. I could not stand in front of the classroom and say a speech. I'll always get very shy. And to think about it, how I started doing public speaking was when I started my events, I wanted to recruit an MC. But he came at a very high price. And at that time, I did not have the finance to actually pay him. And I thought to myself, I have a voice. I have a body. Let me do it. Why not? You see, I don't allow fear to hold me back. You see, fear is something that holds many people back. Fear will actually come into your mind and tell you that you will not be able to do something that you truly believe that you can do. So fear kills dreams. Fear kills your passion. Fear puts out that fire. Fear confuses you. Actually, if you have fear in your mind, body, then fear will lead you into different journeys in life, but you will never ever fulfill those journeys because you'll always do it halfway. Something will happen, then you will change direction, do something else. Something will happen, change direction, do something else. I told a friend of mine the other day, I said, no matter how many times you fall, it does not mean you need to do something else. It simply means build yourself up, pick yourself up, and keep the journey going. Because you will fall in life. This is reality. You will be disappointed. Joe, one of the greatest disappointments that anyone will ever receive in life is that your friends and family will disappoint you as well. Many a times you will think that they will become your support system. And by all means, there are many of them that will be your support system. But sometimes they're not your support system. And this is what discourages a person. This is what can break a person. When somebody very close to you does not support you. When somebody very close to you, really spew out words of anger, spew out toxic words towards you out of anger, it does not add any value in any situation, in any environment. I've learned to find peace in my heart. I've learned to create my own atmosphere. I've learned to remove every negative word and only focus on the positive. I prayed every single day that God strengthens my heart to overcome the harsh realities of the negative words upon my life. And by all means, I believe that God has done that for me. So anyone can say anything negative about me, Joe. It will never ever move me because I know I'm destined for greatness. I know that my foundations is built on the kingdom of heaven. And I certainly know that I have the pillars of faith, determination, of hope, of belief that surrounds me. So when I fall, all I do is grab onto one pillar, pick myself up, and keep the journey going. And that's what each and every one of you should be doing. You should pick yourself up and you should keep the journey going. Things are not going right in your business. Guess what? Find better ways to make it right in your business. You know what does not work. Now find things that will make it work. Simple as that.
Thank you, Jason.
Joe, I think I'm talking a lot.
I love it. I love it. You must. That's why you're here. I need to just enable you to run.
Yes, and also, Joe, what I want to encourage all the listeners and viewers today as well. Unfortunately, my screen is blank. I don't know why it went blank, but I had my slogan and logo on the screen, so I'm trying to put it on while we're speaking, but it ain't happening. So I'll blame it on the lockdown. So, anyways, so this is another thing I want to encourage people on as well. That you are on a journey to greatness. You need to acknowledge that. You need to acknowledge who you are. You need to acknowledge that you have a purpose to fulfill. As soon as you acknowledge your purpose, you acknowledge that you have a purpose to fulfill, you will continuously try many things in life that will keep you going because you know you have a purpose to fulfill. Many people do not find their purpose, Joe. You see what the problem is? They're always wanting to have the material things in life, good homes, nice cars, beautiful dresses and suits and so forth. Let me tell you something. A boy in a fish truck did not wear a suit. It all came with the hard work that today I can put on suits on my body, And this is not to brag, but this is simply to say, you know what? I've uplifted myself from poverty and I have what it takes to actually put on a suit and go out there and inspire many other people. I've done it. Joe, I overcame many storms in my life. I overcame poverty. I really overcame poverty. My past does not define who I am. Absolutely not. I learned from the past. I don't want to go back to the past. I want to go to a greater future. So whatever happened in the past becomes building blocks of learning curves for me not to do in my present and in my future. So you keep going. You keep moving. You keep persevering. You keep the journey going, no matter how many times you fall. So whoever is listening to me right now, you might be disappointed. Many people have disappointed you. Maybe you have disappointed yourself. Maybe people that you thought, is going to be a support base for you, a support system towards you, has disappointed you. You don't need anyone. You really don't need anyone in your life. You need God and you need yourself. That's it. The beauty part is everybody else will follow once things get great in your life. But the storm is something that you need to overcome. So if you're placed in the storm, you've got to overcome it. We look at the sea, a beautiful example of the sea, Joe. On a beautiful summer's day, the sea is absolutely calm. You get ships, you get boats, you get fish, all these boats going out, and the waters can handle, all of whatever boats there's out there, whatever ships is out there, people out there surfing boards, you name it. But when the sea becomes rough, surfers will not go out. When the sea becomes rough, you will not go out and swim in that sea because it's now there's a huge danger within going into that storm, within that sea. But let me tell you something, a ship will be able to handle itself on that sea. It can soar, it can, embrace any rough waters that comes its way. And I'm here to tell you something today, that each and every one of you can embrace every storm that comes your way. You are built to overcome. You are built to soar the storm. You are built to actually soar above the storm and overcome and step into your greatness. Don't worry about the challenges. Don't worry about the storms. Don't worry about the disappointments. It's going to come your way. And if you cannot overcome that, then you have a problem because you will always stumble and fall. So please, everybody, you've got to remove the toxic seeds in your life and replace them with positivity. You've got to replace them with positive seeds. If you plant a tree or a seed, let's put it that way. The other day, Joe, I took a chili. I broke the chili in half and I started to plant the seeds. And every day, I used to go to the pot plant and I used to talk to the seeds. Sorry?
I said you're from Durban.
I didn't hear you, Joe.
I said you're from Durban. People from Durban love
it. All right, okay.
The rest of the world doesn't know that, but we're going to tell them. Yay for Durban.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now listen, when I planted these seeds and I was watering it and I used to go and talk to it, and when I saw, small tiny roots coming out and so forth, I was ecstatic. I was excited. I was nurturing the seed from the time I planted it in the soil. I nurtured the seed. And every time I went, I loosened the soil so it could grow properly and so forth. And it actually started growing and growing and growing. And the best part, when you see the chilies growing out as well, it becomes absolutely amazing It's fabulous. I look at it, I admire it every single time. Now, if I look into the garden, and as much effort as I put into planting a seed where I want something to grow out, I look at the weeds and I think to myself, but how is it possible that I've not even planted a seed of weeds, but yet it just sprouts everywhere? Every single way it just comes up. It's like, where do you come from? I'm trying so long to get the tree up, but these weeds are coming up everywhere. Those weeds become toxic because you want to pull it out. Every time you listen to any negative conversations, anytime you store any toxic seeds within your life, if you gossip, if you talk bad about people, if you are always jealous of others, I'm here to tell you this today, that those are toxic seeds within you that will manifest in your life, and it will become toxic in your life. You will become toxic if you continuously harbor those seeds within your body. How do you overcome? You need to start changing your life. You need to start focusing on the positivity. You need to go the extra mile to help somebody. You need to always give good advice that will always uplift individuals. Turn things around. Instead of speaking bad about somebody, you've got to speak words of upliftment. You've got to build somebody up. So whatever you do in life, make sure it is adding value to anyone's life. That's when you know that you're on the right track. That's when you know that there are no toxic seeds that can, sprout from every direction within you. Absolutely not. And that is how you overcome storms in your life. When you sow positivity in your life, then no weed, no toxic seed will have the power nor ability to actually manifest within you, because you're filled with motivation. You're filled with positivity. You're filled with greatness. You're filled with goodness. You're filled with what humanity wants you to be. Humanity wants you to uplift the next person. And if you're not doing that, then you have toxic seeds within your life. You need to re-examine yourself and get rid of those seeds in order for you to walk into your journey, in order for you to live a life of greatness, and most of all, Joe, in order for you to have peace in your heart. You need to remove toxic seeds from your mind, body, and even soul, if I have to say that.
100%, Jason.
So we said we'll keep it short, Joe, but looks like I'm talking quite a lot.
I know, just to let everybody know, Jason was worried that he wouldn't know what to say. Ha, ha, ha. And I knew from listening to you in the mornings that I don't need to give you too much prompting. You're going to be able to just run.
Absolutely. Joe, look, you know what? We can basically talk, the entire evening and so forth on motivation. There's so many things that I can share with, the viewers and the listeners as well. But I think what's very important is believing in themselves and knowing that they can overcome whatever challenge they do face. Something very important I said on radio this morning, I have a motivational boost slot where I tend to motivate our listeners. It's like a 2-hour slot and so forth. And there's something that I did say, is that whenever you have plans in your life, you've got to keep it to yourself. Do not go out and broadcast those plans. Do not go out and tell many people about your plans. Because there's one thing I can tell you. Not everybody that smiles with you will be your friend. Not everybody that tells you go the extra mile is going to go the extra mile for you. Many people will be jealous. And that is why things don't work out in our lives. It's because we are talking too quick. We are opening up our tongues and we are really declaring as to what we are going to achieve in our lives. And then we find ourselves not achieving it and we wonder why. It's because we spoke too soon. Not everybody out there supports you. Believe it or not, not everybody that says they are your friend are your friends. They're not. Absolutely not. Everybody will always want to go ahead of you. Remember that. They will smile with you. They will laugh with you, but they will always want to be ahead of you. So never ever forget that in life. So one thing I've learned, when it comes to your plans, when it comes to your vision, when it comes to your drive, it's a gem that you need to keep close to your heart and not tell anyone. Perhaps maybe open up your circles to certain individuals that will add value to the vision that you do have, but you always go under the radar. You don't broadcast it, because once you step out and once you tell people what you are wanting to do, I promise you one thing. In reality, there are people that is out there that is stopping you from achieving. They are actually closing the doors upon you. Why do you think that your vision seems to be so great that when you go knocking on doors, you're not getting any help? Do you think it's because you're worth nothing? Absolutely not. It's simply because somebody has closed that door on you. And this is what knowledge will tell us, that we should all act like human beings and help one another. Wisdom tells us that in reality, it does not work like that. In reality, there are networks. People align themselves with individuals that will stop you from succeeding, that will stop you from entering your greatness. There will always be people that will always be out there just to stop you, to stop your dream. So please don't stop your dream. Don't tell people too much. Keep it to yourself. And once you accomplish it, stand on the mountaintops, get a hailer, get whatever you want, and tell the whole entire world it's because you've accomplished it. No one will be able to stop it. So don't ever, ever disclose too much to people, because there's a high probability your dream and your vision will never, ever surface because of that. That comes from wisdom, and that comes from years of experience. I know what I'm talking about. And when I decided to do things in silence, I saw the blessing that came with it. So that is something that I really want to tell the viewers today, that whatever plan that you do have, please keep it to yourself. Don't tell anyone. Work silently, and you will achieve it silently. You see, when nobody is listening, no one will pay attention to you. But as soon as your light starts shining, and if they know that there's greatness within you and you're going to stand on your mountaintops with that light, they're going to try whatever they can to actually put your light off. That's the reality we live in this world. So please do be cautious as you journey into your greatness. So yes, that's something we all should know. And I think it's important, Joe.
I think
it's important. I think it's important for people to know.
It's very important,
yes,
Jason.
Definitely,
and
absolutely.
We need to learn this.
Yes, it's something very important that you need to learn, because we need to, unfortunately, we live in a world where nothing is perfect, or not everyone is perfect. And unfortunately, there are many people that's going to be jealous over us. And unfortunately, many people would not want you to, generate any profits from your gifts, generate any profits from your vision, because of greed. They would want everything. And unfortunately, there are circles that works together to stop you from achieving your greatness. This is the reality that we are in. There are people out there that is basically mandated to destroy your dream. So if you are silent, they will have no idea what you are thinking. They have no idea what you are planning. They have no idea what you're going to execute. And once you execute it, it will be too late for them to stop anything. It's done. It is done. So please, as you journey into your greatness, you've got to remain silent and do your thing. And thereafter, once you achieve, then you can share it. When you get gatherings when friends used to come over and you share your stories with friends, share your ideas with friends, trust me, never works out. Absolutely not. You expect friends to help you. You expect people that you know to help you. And I'm going to tell you something today. If you have not gotten to that point, the people that you expect to help you will disappoint you. That's a harsh reality as well. Friends that you have for a long time, you'll expect they might be able to assist. They might assist you in a small way. However, many of them will disappoint you. And Joe, when you get disappointed, it basically kills the dream that you have, because you think to yourself, you don't have a support base because no one wants to help you. But the way I built myself up is not looking at my support base. I had strangers that helped me. I had strangers that supported me. Strangers supported me. People that I knew did not support me. So then I realized one thing, that in this world, you've got to believe in who you are, believe in yourself, and don't count on anyone. You will obviously come across people that will help you, that will support you. You keep your circle very small, because I can tell you one thing, you have what it takes to do big things. You don't need a huge, circle of friends to come together and let's discuss this. Absolutely not. You have what it takes to achieve it. A boy in a fish truck traveled to Port Elizabeth. started doing events. From there, from a small hall, a community center, to hosting events at the international ICC, International Convention Center. This is huge. This is big. And this is where I hosted events. Why? It's because I remained silent. I worked behind the scenes and I started getting things done. And when I started getting things done, there were people that actually tried to stop me, but it was too late. I became a hurricane because whoever came in my way actually just got pushed away because I became a force. I became unstoppable. And unfortunately, people will always go to higher levels to try and stop you. Now, there's one thing about me, Joe. I fell flat in my life. I turned like dust on the ground. I lost everything. And I started building myself up. I remember taking the soil from the ground. I remember holding the soil in my hand. And this is the words I said, that today I've become like you, nothing, dust. But one thing I promised myself, this soil, and I turned my hand around and I let it go. And I said, this soil, I will turn into a mountain and I will stand on that mountain top and I will declare victory over my life. And that's exactly what I started building. From nothing, I started building something. And I knew I was on a mission and I'm going to stand on that mountaintops and nobody is going to stop me.
Very powerful.
Yes. So that is why people love the motivation, because I know what I'm talking about. And I have coached many people. I've coached youngsters, I've coached adults, and, it's something that I believe all of these valuable lessons in life, I treasure it within my heart. And all of these lessons, I love helping people. One of the presenters told me today, Joe, that the information that I have, I should charge people for it. And there's ways that I make finance, but at the end of the day, we are all wanting to survive. We are all wanting to live. We are all wanting to make it. And my prayer and my words and my encouragement is that I hope everybody makes it. And whoever comes past my way, if you need some sort of help, I'm going to make sure I give you that help. I don't care who says what. I will give you the main ingredients to survive in this world. I will help you. And if you're down on the floor, I will pick you up. I will hold you. And I will say, let's go. I will walk this journey with you. This is how I add value in people's lives. I walk that journey with them. Even if I have to stop my journey for a while, I will certainly walk the journey with them to make sure that they make it. Because I know what it is to be poor. I know what it is to have nothing. I know what it is to stumble. I know what it is when people let you down. I know what it is to cry at home. I know what it is to cry in your bed. I know what it is to be confused. I know what it is to fail. I know what it is when people let you down. I felt it. I experienced it. I went through it. And I don't want anyone else to go through it. I want to add value in your life so you do not feel what I felt. I thank the Lord that I had the great positivity within me to overcome what I went through. But unfortunately, not everybody has that goal in life. Not everybody has that determination and perseverance. But I'm here to teach you that you have it within you and you can do it and you can overcome. So to everyone that's watching today, again, I want to stress out the point that you are destined for greatness. So don't give up. You can build yourself up. As soon as things go wrong, the first thing in mind is give up. No, don't give up. Keep moving forward. And if you fall, wake up, move forward. If you fall, wake up, move forward. People ask me, how many times must I try? My answer, try until you get it right.
Oh, this is fabulous.
So yes, that's my motivational input for the viewers today, that you can do it. I'm a boy that was in a fish truck. Today, I'm a man in a suit. And by the way, this is my book. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Wait.
This is the book that I have written.
Jason, speak some more because it's showing me instead of you.
And it says, the boy in the fish truck, he changes everything. And here will teach you valuable lessons as to how to overcome your trials and tribulations. The book is about me, it's about my journey, but great motivation for the readers as well. And the title, He Changes Everything. Believe me when I tell you this, at a blink of an eye, God can change everything in your life. All you have to do is trust Him, believe in Him, and trust in His journey. Don't trust in your journey. Trust in His plan. Trust in His journey for you. Trust in what God has for you. Because when I get disappointed in life, Joe, you know what I do? When things don't work out in my way, I always look up to the heavens and say, Lord, you know. I said, Lord, you know. You know what needs to take place. You know why I'm going through this. So I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm going to continue the journey. Keep empowering me, keep directing me, and stay with me as I move forward in this world. And this is something that I believe that everyone that is listening right now, everybody that's listening, I can promise you one thing. If you commit your plans to God, you commit your life to God, things will happen in your life. You will see a turnaround. Things will turn around for you. And I believe that you have what it takes. I believe inside of you, I believe that you have what it takes to live a great life. I don't believe that you're a loser. I don't believe that you're a failure. Absolutely not. People might put these titles over your life. Perhaps maybe you formed a certain habits in your life that does not add value to your life or to anyone in this world. Many of us pick up bad habits, Joe. The entire world, every human being will pick up a habit that you're not too proud to declare out in the open. Many people will always walk as if they are righteousness. Absolutely not. Everybody has sinned. Everybody has fallen short of the glory. Everybody has something in their eye. So when people are judging you to take out the dust from your eye, remember something. They always have a plank in their eyes. They will always portray to have themselves as someone upright and somebody that is perfect. Absolutely not. Nobody is perfect. And if you are not, I'm here to tell you that you're not perfect. But you can always strive to be perfect. Eliminate the bad habits in your life, and you'll see how fast you will start growing. That's my motivation for you, Joe, and for everybody else. In a nutshell, I'm pleased. And then people ask me as well, Jason, how did you be a radio presenter? How do you present? I mean, Joe, you've seen me live on social media. When I put that mic on, I just have a fabulous time with everybody. I've now got listeners from the US, from New Zealand, from Australia, from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, you name it, all over the place. It's absolutely incredible. And we have a fantastic time with all of these listeners. And it's because they basically see the energy that I'm bringing. They feel the energy. They feel the upliftment. And this is something that I always want to plant in everybody's life. When you walk out, when you go anywhere, people need to feel the goodness. They need to feel the positivity. They need to see you as a pillar. They need to see you as someone that will add value in your life. So when you walk out into the open, when you walk out into the unknown, your light has to shine. You've got to store in some good seeds in your body for your light to shine, for people to help you and for you to help people. So go ahead and continuously add value in people's lives. And I said this morning as well, if you are in a habit of always speaking toxic words towards anyone else, stop it immediately. It adds no value because it puts you into a trap. It puts you into an anchor, or it anchors you down rather from you succeeding in life. Might as well add value in people's lives, Joe, instead of going against it. It does not help you whatsoever. I truly believe in something, what you sow is what you will reap as well. So you could be having a fantastic time, sowing a lot of disaster where it's going to basically benefit you by destroying other people's dreams. But I can promise you one thing, it will come knocking on your door and you will reap the consequences to your action. There's good decisions and there's bad decisions. Every decision that you do make, whether you make it behind closed doors, I can promise you one thing, that there's a consequence to every decision that you do make. So make sure you make good decisions and not bad decisions. Whatever is hidden will always be uncovered. Simple as that. Whatever is hidden will always come out in the light. Never, ever forget that. If you think that no one is watching, I promise you one thing. Whatever is hidden will eventually come out into the light. So
Whether
people need to acknowledge all of that.
good
Sorry,
or
Joe, I couldn't hear you for a second.
sorry, Jason. I'm saying good or bad.
Good or bad. No, look, you know what? Like I said, whatever is hidden, good or bad, it has to come out. It has to come out. So if I were you, and with all my learning curves in life, try to get rid of all the toxic seeds that you have picked up along the way. Joe, do you know how much do you know how people pick up toxic seeds? You can be a fantastic person. You can be an absolutely fabulous person that has a very good heart. But if you continuously are listening to words of toxic words, where people are gossiping about other people, talking bad about other people, all this negativity, that toxic seeds that you are listening to automatically gets planted into your mind and into your heart. And as you move ahead in life, you'll see how it starts to manifest. And then you will be talking bad about people. You will be jealous of people. You'll get angry if you're not succeeding. You will start hating your life because nothing is happening in your life. You start questioning yourself. These are toxic seeds that's planted in your life based on what other people are saying. So if you're going to give ear to any negativity out there, those seeds are going to be planted in you. And eventually it will manifest and you will become what those seeds are within your life.
Sure.
So anyone gossips, put up their hand and say, hold on, rather not.
Yeah.
Stop it right there. Don't be afraid.
Jason,
Don't be afraid. Stop it right there.
Your story reminds me of one of my mother's stories. My mother was just the most inspirational woman. And we lived in this place. We lived at Nagle Dam. I don't know if you know Nagle Dam at one stage. Valley of 1,000 Hills.
No, not really, no.
Outside Durban.
Oh, yes.
In Maritzburg with our own table.
Yes.
But it was so super hot in the valley, and we had just so many paper thorns growing in the lawn, and I love gardening. So I decided that's it. I'm going to sit for hours every day and weed out these paper thorns because my nieces and nephews couldn't run on the grass, right? And it just took hours and hours and hours to clear a small patch. And I was saying to my mom, I don't know what to do with these things. And she said to me, stop weeding the weeds. She says, water the grass. I said, no, but that's going to water the weeds, right? She said, you don't understand. You have to water and fertilize the grass. The grass will take care of the weeds. And that's what it is. It's the positivity, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The more we feed our positivity, the more the weeds
just absolutely.
Yeah. How amazing is that?
Totally agree. So when you're on the journey to greatness, then you automatically walk into your blessings. You don't have to try much harder. You don't have to try at all. Look, when you're trying to make it in life and you're harboring all of the negativity around you, then you will basically go in circles. But once you start eliminating the toxic seeds within you, then you see purpose, and then automatically life will take you into the journey for you to fulfill your purpose. Just the way I was taken into radio presenting, I was taken into motivational talks, I was taken into hosting events with celebrities, I was taken into emceeing events and all of these great things. It was never ever a part of my plan. But because I cleaned out my body, my sanctuary, and not to say I'm perfect, I'm far from perfect. I am far from perfect, but I strive to do good in this world. And I've seen how that transformation in my life, when I re-examined my life, re-examined who I am, and I decided that I'm going to live my life according to this way. And of course, I've had people that try to move me into a different journey, but I absolutely refused because this was the way I thought. I made up my mind. I'm going to move in this direction, and no one is going to stop me. And when I continued in that direction, Joe, I had no idea I was walking into my blessings, and I continuously walked into one blessing after another. And the rewards are there. I don't tell a lot of people that I'm an award-winning radio presenter. I'm an entrepreneur. I deal with celebrities. I'm very, very calm. I'm very humble. I'm very relaxed. When I do motivational talks, sometimes I just go out and talk. And then one of my friends came to me and said, Jason, you need to actually tell people who you are. You need to tell them what you've done. You need to tell them where you've come from. So I said, why? That was my journey. And he actually told me, he said that when people know what you have overcome in life, then they will take you very, very seriously. Look, they take me seriously when I give talks. They'll take me even more seriously when the battles that I've overcome in life. And also, I've been part of fantastic projects as well, which it's in the book. So if one wants the book, then when it's out on ebook, by all means, you can certainly get it. And it will really inspire you. And that book, sorry, Joe, that book you can basically, I think that's a sign of me talking too much. That book can basically, it will inspire you. And the good thing about that book was, so many influential people that has read this book has given me fantastic reviews. I mean, I've had directors from companies that read it, CEOs that read the book as well, that's given me fantastic reviews. They've also told me that, the book has put in a seed of hope in their lives again, made them realize what is right, what is wrong, made them realize that what they need in their journey. And this is something that when you read the book, it will make you realize automatically, where you're going wrong and what you need to do to basically, walk into your greatness. So yes, it's easy taking on a journey in this world. Very difficult to accomplish your plans. Very difficult to accomplish your goal as well. So you've got to bring order within your mind and body in order for you to actually accomplish and walk into your blessings. So that's my motivation for all the listeners today. I really hope that I gave you words that were fruitful to many, that will really take it into their hearts and really implement it in your life. Look, it means nothing for me speaking and you just listening, and then, it just goes out at the other ear. You've got to implement what I'm saying, because this is exactly what I did. I implemented all what I'm telling you, and I've overcome it. You will go through some bad times. Hang in there. Weather the storm. You will overcome.
Jason.
Anything else, Jill, that you would want me to share?
This has been absolutely fantastic. We have loved having you, and we can't wait to have you in the Middle East with us, because we're definitely going to have some fun over here as soon as we're allowed to travel and do some fun.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much, Jason, for coming on.
Absolutely.
Motivation every morning. I would love...
And thank you, Jill.
Oh, I would love our influencer family to be able to log in and watch you every morning as well. So, which is your best page, Jason, for that?
Look, I've got two pages. I've got my personal page, Jason Gabriel, and I've got my public figure page, which is Jason Gabriel as well. So sometimes I'm moving over to my public page, and a lot of people will actually, they're so used to having me broadcast from my normal page. So I'm always jumping in between, because, I want to tell people that, they can definitely start moving over into my public page. So it's Jason Gabriel. And you can see my face. You see the guy with the bald head. And, of course, I've got a beard as well. So by all means, there are two pages. Connect with me, a public page as well as my personal page. I think I've reached 5,000 people, so I'm not too sure if I can accept anyone else. However, I would really love for the viewers to actually log on and have a look, at what goes on. Because I promise you one thing, there's so much of fun and great motivation and entertainment. You'll absolutely love it. Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
So great.
Thank you, Jason. This has been absolutely fabulous.
Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate it. And thank you for what you do. You are absolutely adding value in people's lives. And I applaud you for all your efforts. I applaud all the influencers that is on this journey with you. I think each and every one of them are incredible. And to all the influencers, as well as everyone else that's watching, just keep pushing forward, keep moving. Things will work out in your favor. We will grow together, and we will become a very powerful force together as well.
100%.
So keep the journey going.
Oh, thank you, Jason. And just for those who don't yet know...
And I think...
Yes?
I think we froze, Joe. I think we froze.
No, you frozen. I can see everything perfectly. So I want to just let everybody know who doesn't yet know of Influencer magazine that these are about real influencers, not something that's just about promoting other people's products. These are about people who are leading a legacy, people who are inspirational because they first of all led themselves to greatness, and with integrity and
Absolutely.
humility and determination to do something that is magnificent for the whole world and for generations yet to come. So that is what we're about, and we bring you the most inspirational people like Jason Gabriel, and you're going to follow him on Facebook and all over the net. He's on Instagram as well. Jason, where else can people find you?
Look, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn as well as Facebook. You just have to type in Jason Gabriel and you'll find me. So yes, and I really look forward to having you guys follow me because I do from time to time, well, quite often lately, putting up words of inspiration where it will really make you think when you read it. So yes, it will really add value in your life. So I would love it. And there's more great things to come through the Influencer magazine and Influencer platform as well. So we'll definitely be connecting via the Influencer platforms, and it will certainly add value in your life.
Oh, fantastic. Jason, thank you for journeying with us and being part of this whole wonderful, exciting adventure. And I will never forget that boy in the fish truck. He's definitely worth following. And as soon as your ebook is out, we will be promoting it so that people can join in, and we will link it to this feed so that people can grab it, because I know that you've inspired a lot of people tonight. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing everything that's in your heart and in your life. And we hope that a whole bunch of new people will find you in the mornings on the breakfast show in the Bay.
Yes.
Bay FM.
Correct.
It is.
That's it.
And I challenge anybody who finds a better radio host. I don't think you're going to find one. So, Jason, you deserve all the applause. Thank you for journeying with us. And now we're going to say goodbye to our Facebook friends and family, and then we'll have a last chat together. Okay, so don't go anywhere, Jason.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Joe. Have a good one.
And thanks to all our wonderful Facebook influencer family. Thank you for following us. Thank you for all your love and support and encouragement. We just so enjoy bringing you the most inspirational people and making sure that your businesses, your purpose are able to shine, because there's nothing like working with your purpose. And that is what we are all about, is giving food for the journey so that you can be who God designed you to be, so that you can leave a legacy for future generations. Thanks, everyone. Cheers, hey.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Jason Gabriel, inspiring.
Well, if we are live, then greetings to all the viewers and listeners.
I have Jason Gabriel with me, and of course he knows how to charm a crowd. So welcome, everybody. It's Joe Hawkins with Influencer Magazine, and we are going live with Jason Gabriel, which I am so excited about. And Jason, I think it's just actually going to go live in a minute. So we'll have to start all over again. Yay!